Hi, my name is Melinda Hewlin. I am a Director of Product Management for Oracle Service Center, and today we're going to be looking at the agent user experience for Service Center. So let's jump into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Great. So I am an agent. I am just starting my day. I've logged into Fusion, and now I want to go ahead and drill into the Service Center application. When I drill into Service Center, I'm going to be presented with the service request list. So this is a list of all of the service requests that are assigned to me. This is driven by Elasticsearch, so it has extremely powerful sorting and filtering capabilities. Everything that's currently assigned to me is under control, so I'm going to remove this filter, and I want to look at any new service requests that have come in. It looks like we have a high priority service request, so I'm going to go ahead and take that one. When I drill into the service request, you'll see that we are now in the service request fold-out page. This is based on the Redwood design, and as you can see, it's a very clean, modern user interface. This is what we call a conversational user interface. This fold-out panel is designed to really be a cover sheet for the service request, providing the agent with all of the information they need to see at a glance. On the left-hand side here, you can see that we have an overview panel. This overview panel is driven by generative AI. The system takes information from the title, the problem description, and all of the inbound and outbound communications on the service request and provides an overview or summary. This allows me to get a quick overview of the issue without having to read through the entire history. So first thing I want to do is I want to take ownership of this service request. I'm going to come up here to the action bar. The action bar is a critical element of the Redwood design. From here, I can perform all of the actions that I need to do on the service request. There's about 42 different actions that are available, but the system presents to me the most likely action that I'm going to take based on my previous behavior, as well as where I am in the service request lifecycle. So the first thing I want to do is I want to assign this service request to me. And within just a couple of keystrokes, you can see that it's done a lookup for me and presented that action. So I'm going to go ahead and assign this service request to me. And the next thing I want to do is I want to set the status to in progress. So here I'm going to type status again in the action bar, and I'm going to go ahead and update the status from new to in progress. Now, when I do that, you can see the information on the header has been updated, and we're all ready to get working on our service request. So looking at the problem description, it looks like our customer is having a problem with the hybrid fuel generator. Let's take a deeper look into this issue. I'm going to drill into what we call the activity subview, which is really your working page for the service request. And this is broken into a couple of different sections. Here you can see I have the problem description available to me, and that's going to be persistent. Below that, we have what we call the activity stream. The activity stream is another key element to the Redwood design. This is a chronological view of all of the key elements that have happened on this service request. Now note, this is not an audit trail. This is a configurable stream of just the key events, so I have the most critical information at my fingertips. So I have this information available to me. I understand the problem. Let's go up to the top here. Now you'll notice in this section, the system is recommending a knowledge article to us. What the system did when I opened the service request is it did an automatic lookup based again on the title, the problem description, the category, and the product of the service request, and is presented to me the most likely solution to this particular issue. This is part of the guided agent experience and how we expose intelligence through the user interface. I'm going to go ahead and drill into this knowledge article. Now, Service Center has a deep integration with knowledge management, which allows for great communication between myself and the rest of the system. When I look through the knowledge article, you can see there's various information about the hybrid fuel pump, and it looks like most likely we're going to have to replace the part. I want to share this information with the customer so they have this information at their fingertips as well. I'm going to go ahead and hit share in the knowledge article. And you can see that takes me back to my service request with a composed email presented. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the email channel that I want to send this out on. And I can select from any one of a number of email channels that are configured, such as support@supremo.com or VIP support@supremo.com. You'll notice that the system has pre-populated this email. Again, using generative AI, the system did a analysis of the knowledge article and has created a summary for the customer so that they can just see an overview of the contents of the knowledge article, and it has inserted a link to the knowledge article itself. So in just a couple of keystrokes, I'm now ready to send this off to my customer. When the customer receives this, they'll be able to click that link and look at the knowledge article through the customer self-service portal. Now, when I did that, you'll notice that our activity stream has been updated to reflect the email that we just sent out. So, okay, let's go ahead and start working on this problem. Now, before I replace the part, I have a question if it's really necessary. So I want to reach out to a subject matter expert to make sure. Again, I'm going to come up to our action bar, and this time I want to start an internal conversation. An internal conversation is part of our collaboration functionality. This allows me to perform agent-to-agent and agent-to-subject matter expert communications in context. There's a variety of different channels available to us. If, for example, the subject matter expert wasn't a Fusion user, I could send them an email. We also have the ability to communicate and collaborate through Microsoft Teams and Slack. For this communication, I'm going to select the Slack channel, and because we already have the integration set up, you'll notice that the workspace is defaulted to Supremo Power. I want to select a channel, so I'm going to come in and select my channel of general billing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say troubleshooting. And now I have selected a Slack channel. From here, I'm going to use what we call Smart Text. And Smart Text allows me to insert a predefined snippet of text. So here I'm going to insert collaboration request. And again, you can see that it has automatically inserted a predefined snippet of text. This makes it easy for the agent and allows me to respond to issues in a pre-approved terminology. So I'm going to go ahead and send this off to my subject matter expert. Now, when I do that, you'll notice it has updated our activity stream. And when I've done that, I'm going to come over here. And I want to show you my Slack user interface. In the Slack user interface, you can see that we have a new question that's come in through general troubleshooting. When I select on that, you'll see that we've sent over a predefined series of information metadata from the service request. So the subject matter expert has an overview of the issue that I'm asking for assistance on. If they're a Fusion user, they could even drill directly into the service request using this link. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say reply to service request. And now I'm going to just say, please place parts ASAP. We want to make sure that our customers are happy. So I've gone ahead, asked the subject matter expert, and responded to this question. Now we're going to go back over to the Service Center user interface. And again, as we mentioned, this conversation was captured in the activity stream. When I expand this, you'll see now that I have both the original question along with the response from the subject matter expert. Now, the key here with our collaboration functionality, in the past as the support agent, I may have questions, I'd reach out via email, or maybe I would Slack a group for advice. But now all of that information is captured in context with the service request and has become part of the service request history. So all of that information is captured and nothing is lost. So we have confirmation from our experts that we want to replace the part. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. Once again, I'm going to come up to our action bar. And in this case, I want to add what we call an action plan. So I'm going to just add that here. And you see that add an action plan is presented to us. Action plans are predefined processes. It's a series of steps that are predefined. They can be very simple or they can be very complex. But again, this is another way that we can help guide the agent through the predefined processes that are necessary. In this case, I'm going to select immediate parts replacement. And you'll see that the action plan has been saved to my service request. Now, when I did that, you'll notice that the recommended knowledge has now been replaced by this gold box here. This is the next logical step or next best action for the agent or for others in completion of this service request. This is the first step in the action plan that we just executed. Now, I could go off and say that I've already completed this and mark it as complete. When I do that, the next logical step would be presented to me or whoever is assigned to that particular step in the process. Let me go ahead and show you the action plan that we just added to this service request. So again, I'm going to come to my action bar, and this time I'm going to say Show Actions and Plans. When I do that, you'll see that the action plan has brought up a graphical representation of the plan that we just associated to the service request. We started here, and then the next step is to check the warranty. Now the warranty here, you can tell by the little wrench, is actually a child service request that was automatically created, associated to this service request, and assigned off to another group. The step following that actually uses dynamic processes. That as soon as this step in the plan was completed, it would kick off a dynamic process for approval to replace the part, then finally notify the customer and ship the part off. So again, these action plans can be very simple or they can be extremely complicated depending on your business needs. So now that we've gone ahead and got that kicked off, the next thing we need to do is we need to update the customer to let them know what's going on. I'm again going to come to my action bar, and this time I want to compose an email. So again, our email compose has been presented to us. I'm going to select my email channel, and this time I'm going to use Smart Text again and say we're replacing the part. When I use this Smart Text, you can see that it's inserting a fully completed email to the customer. Now, the beautiful thing about Smart Text is you have the ability when you define a Smart Text to use variable substitution. That allows me to insert the service request ID number and the title for this service request. This allows me to utilize these Smart Texts again and again across all of my service requests. So again, we just used a couple of keystrokes, and I'm going to send this off to the customer. So we've evaluated the problem, we've checked the knowledge, sent it off to our customer, we collaborated with our experts to ensure the next best step, and we've kicked off the process to replace the part for our customer. At this point, the customer is going to be very happy with both our brand and with our service. So from my perspective as an agent, I'm done. The last thing I need to do is I need to come up here, and now I'm going to resolve my service request. So our last action from our action bar, I type a couple of letters and I'm going to resolve my service request. When I come in here, I'm going to select the outcome and just say solution provided. We went ahead and sent a knowledge article, so I'm going to indicate that as well. And we're going to use one more Smart Text to insert a resolution to our service request, and I'm going to hit resolve. When I do that, you'll see that our activity stream has been updated and all of the information regarding this service request has been captured. As an agent, my job here is completed, and I'm able to close this service request and move on to the next step in my day. So thank you so much for allowing me to show you the Service Center agent experience. And with that, Andy, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks so much, Melinda. That was fantastic and really great to see a demo and a nice way to wrap up, I think, today's session. Hopefully, everybody was able to take away from that Oracle's invested a lot in great user experience and the Redwood design patterns, and hopefully this session's helped to showcase some of what that great user experience can mean for customer service teams. That's the end of today's session. Please do follow up with us via any of the links on the screen. We really look forward to engaging with you further in the future. Thanks for joining us.